Hello. That was loud. Hello. It's me again, and we are back. And today we are going to be talking about gratitude. Honestly, we're just going to jump right into this. You read the title, we're just going to get into it. So I got my notes here so we don't go rambling for 2 hours, but let's get into it. So, gratitude. What am I meaning by gratitude? Gratitude, we'll just say per my definition that I'm making up off the top of my head, is being complacent, well, not complacent, being grateful for the things that you presently have in the moment of reality that you are experiencing. We're not talking about the past. We're not talking about the future. We're not talking about the things you did have before. We're not talking about the things you maybe want tomorrow or even an hour from now. We're talking about in this present moment of reality that you are experiencing, being grateful for the things that you have and what you are in your state of being in your present moment, if that makes sense. The form of gratitude I'm talking about is a little bit about the present moment. I'm going to contradict myself about what I just said 2 minutes ago, but it's about the present moment while also simultaneously being grateful for all the things that have led up to the present moment. But regardless of all that, we're just going to kind of move on and talk about gratitude. So, first up, why does this version of gratitude help you enjoy life more and stay in the present? Because number one, if you're grateful for the things that you have, gratitude produces a certain kind of energy on the emotional spectrum. You have high emotions and low emotions. I've talked about this before in another video. Gratitude is pretty high up on the emotional scale, so it starts to produce a higher emotional current and a higher electromagnetic frequency in your life that produces alternative reactions in your environment. So, gratitude helps you stay in the present moment because when you're in the present moment, you are actually experiencing reality for what it actually is. You're not far off in the past or even in yesterday. You're not far off into the future or even tomorrow. You're right here, right now, where life is actually happening, where reality is actually taking place, and allows you to stay rooted and grounded into your present moment. How does that help you enjoy your life more? Well, it helps you enjoy your life more because you're not deep into the past, you're not far into the future. Your mind isn't constantly burning through energy thinking of all these other different scenarios that did happen before or that you should have done differently or that may happen in the future that you might be anxious about. It's right here like a tree rooted in that moment, which is naturally just going to allow you to be more grateful and more enjoying in your life. I think anyone can probably agree that when you spend too much time in the past or you spend too much time in the future, it really takes away from what you're actually experiencing in the present moment. And the present moment is a gift because none of us know what's going to happen. We have to take each day as we can get it. And by enacting gratitude into your life, it just allows you to be more present for the gift of the present experience that you're experiencing. So, yeah. Next up, how gratitude opens you up to the universe by freeing up energy. Don't mind that. It's a little bit kind of what I just mentioned, how when you're in the present moment, you're not wasting that energy on the past or on the future. It's all right here. Because you have to remember, your brain is processing so many things all the time. And not just in your own conscious mind, not just only in the thoughts you choose to have, but in a much deeper subconscious level as well. Like there's so many deep subconscious things that your brain is thinking about. And if you are also consciously thinking about something that happened a year ago or something that may happen 10 years from now, it's dragging all of that energy away from your present reality. The current electromagnetic field that is pulling stuff to your present reality in your experience, it's not strong enough to hold anything. So anything you're trying to manifest, anything you're trying to accomplish, anything you're trying to do, you need as much energy into that present moment as you can get. And if it's scattered into the past or scattered into the future, or if it's here, if it's there, you're losing so much crucial energy. So by grounding yourself in gratitude and being grateful and thankful for all that you're experiencing in your reality, at this moment, even if it's not exactly what you want it to be, all that energy is rooted right here in the present, forming a super strong electromagnetic current that is pulling stuff to your energy in that moment, which allows the universe to give you more stuff. It allows the universe to see your field and say, oh, hey, look, that person is generating super strong. Let's go see what they're about. Let's pull stuff into their aura, if that makes any sense. Next, why does gratitude prevent obsession and chasing? So, I know we live in a world where chasing stuff is like pretty common. You know, you chase the girl, you chase the job, you chase this version of your life. You want this, you want that, blah, 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 blah. We're constantly chasing things. And I just don't believe that's healthy for human beings overall, because chasing stuff just will inevitably drain your energy for things that you really need to conserve for. You know, I'm a big advocator of conserving energy for the time that it matters. And when you're consistently chasing things, you're chasing this, you're chasing that, you want this, you want that, 24/7, your aura, your energy is just, it's screwed up. It's screwed up. It's everywhere. It's like someone is trying to preserve, you know, a bag of chicken and you wrap it in plastic, but you punched a whole bunch of holes in it. It's not preserving anything because there's so many holes in that field, and eventually you're just going to get a rotten piece of meat, a rotten soul, if you will. So gratitude prevents obsession and chasing, because if you're grateful, you're not in the energy of wanting. And the energy of wanting is a very low vibrational thing, because wanting is on the opposite spectrum. You got being, is which is like, I guess you could say being is like at the top. You don't want anything. You don't, it's positive nor negative. It's just a neutral state. Then underneath that, you got the positive states, and underneath that, you got the negative states. But anyway, gratitude prevents obsession and chasing, because if you're grateful for the things you have, you don't want or need anything else. If you're grateful for your car, if you're grateful for your apartment, if you're grateful for your job, if you're grateful for your friends, if you're grateful for having food in your house, you're not wanting anything. Therefore, if you're not wanting anything, you're not down in the lower negative states where your auric field starts to get all jacked up. You're just in the higher areas, which is what attracts things, you know, better opportunities, better things towards you. So that's why you want to stay in gratitude as often as you can. And, you know, of course, I'm not saying this is something you're going to do every single day, all the time. We're all human. We all falter. That's just what happens. But the more often you can stay in gratitude and remind yourself to be grateful for the things that you have, the more often than not, you'll stay in that higher vibrational field. Obviously, like I said, you can't do this all the time. The world is just not designed that way. The human world, anyway. The way it's all set up and the way we live in our society, most human societies, it's impossible to do that all the time. But we're not looking for all the time. We're looking for an upwards trend. You know, we're not looking to do it every single day. We're not even looking to do it half the days. We're just hoping to bring energy to gratitude, to bring mindfulness to that energy as often as we can, as consciously as we can. And the more you do that, the more it will train like a muscle. Even if you don't go to the gym every single day, but you've been busting your ass consistently, you'll still maintain a certain degree of muscle. And that's what we're training, the gratitude muscle. So yeah, that's, you know, something that you really want to be practicing if you want to stay out of that lower territory, if you want your manifestations to work, if you want a better reality, if you want to align with the things that you believe are meant for you. You're never going to do that by waving around in the shallow waters of wanting and obsession and chasing. You can only really achieve that in the higher levels, which are, you know, gratitude, mindfulness, thankfulness, all that stuff, until eventually you kind of get past that. You just achieve complete neutrality, which is something that's very difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been able to do that. Only a few people are really able to stay in that neutral territory regardless of what happens, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so what we're going to get into next is, how does gratitude work? Because the thing about gratitude is, gratitude only really works if it's true gratitude. You cannot fake it. You can't, you know, half-ass it. You can't pretend. You know, the universe isn't going to sit here and be like, oh, look at this very clearly fake attempt at gratitude, let's give you something real. No, you have to be genuinely grateful for the things in your reality. And I'm sure you're asking next, if I'm not grateful for the things in my reality, or if I said I'm grateful, but none of my stuff is working, then how come, how do I fix that? So, two things. Number one, if you aren't grateful for the stuff in your reality, just find anything to be grateful for. Anything at all. Be grateful that you had a glass of water. Be grateful that you made it to work on time. Be grateful that, I don't know, you have air conditioning in your house or whatever. Find small, tiny things to be genuinely grateful for. I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can find them. Grateful for drinking water. Grateful for having your electricity on in your house. Grateful for, I don't know, being a windy day. Grateful for this, grateful for that. Grateful that you have air in your tires, that you don't have a flat. There's so many things to be grateful for genuinely. If you really try, you'll start to actually see more things you can be grateful for than things you're not grateful for. And you just start small. And, there's probably plenty of things in your life that you can be grateful for genuinely. But the thing about this is, we're not trying to be grateful so that we can get stuff from the universe. We're trying to be grateful so that our auric field is full of abundance, so that our auric field is full of that electromagnetic residue and resonance that naturally pulls stuff towards us that we weren't even looking for. If you're going to start doing gratitude because you want stuff from the universe, it's not going to work. It never works. It never will work like that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to evolve our state of being to where things just naturally happen for us that we're not looking for because of our state of being. You can't do this because you're deliberately trying to get something from the universe. You just simply have to evolve your state of being towards this upper echelon, whatever, of energy, of states of being, to where you vibrate so high that the universe just sends stuff to you because that's what you're attracting more often than not. So, if you can't find something to be grateful for, I don't know, pick something, anything. If you're like, Nandian, my life is complete shit and I can't find anything to be grateful for, well, hey, be grateful that you can breathe. Be grateful that you have eyesight or that you're not deaf or something. I don't know. Pick anything you can find. Anything you can find. There is something you can be grateful for, and just start doing it every single day as often as you can. Just build up the habit of being grateful. Wake up and just find 5 things to be grateful for and go from there and call it a day. But anyway, we're moving on because that's a little bit of a tangent. The next thing, and the last thing I guess I want to talk about, is why gratitude is essentially the end game of what you're really trying to do here on Earth. It's like, so, we all have our roles to play. We all have our things that we do, whether you believe that or not. We're all here for a reason, even if we're not technically fulfilling that reason. It's all part of the universe's plan, if you will. Gratitude essentially is the, I don't know, it's the I don't know, the high lane, it's the fast lane to getting to what you're inevitably here to do. We spend so much time looking for this or looking for that, trying to be aligned. How do I get more money? How do I meet my soulmate? How do I get a better job? How do I do this? How do I do that? Blah, 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 blah. And you're spending so much time in those lower energy frequencies when you could be in the higher energy frequency, which will just naturally attract those things to you. We spend so much time trying to figure out the how and the why instead of just simply embodying that energy, which will naturally draw those things to us. That's why I say it's the end game. Every single person, well, honestly, every single living creature on Earth has some sort of plan, some sort of purpose for them, if you will. Whether you believe that or not, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But that's what I think. And that's why I make these videos. But every single living thing on Earth, obviously, including humans, has some sort of plan, some sort of end goal. There's a billion different ways that plan can happen. There's a billion different ways that this road can lead to the inevitable last road, but you will get to that road regardless of what happens. It can be fun and light and charming, or you can be kicking and screaming and dragging your feet the whole way, but you're going to get there eventually. So if you're going to get there eventually, why not have it be a smooth ride? If you're going to go through this journey of life regardless, Do you want to be on the low vibrational road doing it and suffering the whole time? Or do you want to be on the high vibrational road and have some bonuses and some cool stuff to look back on as you make it inevitably towards the end? Personally, if I know I'm going to get to wherever I'm going to go, regardless, I would much rather take a much smoother ride. If you're saying I can be on this cool, smooth, paved highway with no one else on it versus like some old, crusty, backed up road, I mean, which one are you going to pick? I know which one I'm picking. Gratitude is the avenue to make your experience easier. It won't be easy, but it will definitely be easier because you're using the energy already inside you to attract things to you that will make your journey easier in the long run. And that's what we're trying to do here. And that's why I'm basically explaining right now for anyone that really, cares. Because at the end of the day, after, all the stuff in the physical world goes away and blah, 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 the energy that you are, it will just be an energy of pure beingness. That's what you are. You'll be pure awareness. You'll be pure beingness. That's what you are. And gratitude doesn't exactly match it as a one-to-one, but it is a lot closer to the state of being that you really are than the artificial state of being you have when you're here on earth with the wanting and the needing and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's essentially the dire importance of gratitude. I know this is a little bit long-winded, a little bit all over the place. I tried to keep this kind of streamlined as best as I could, but yeah, that's about it for this one. I wanted to get this one out there. It's a thought I've had rolling around for a little bit. And honestly, these videos also, if people happen to find them later on, cool. If not, hey, they work as little video diaries for me. But I've gone through a lot of these situations in my life, and I always seem to circle back to the same stuff, and it's only when I started circling back and realizing the breaks in those patterns that I could do something different by changing my mindset or by simply doing something that I didn't do before, an alternative method, this, that, whatever, and gratitude is one of those things because no one really teaches that to you. They're always like, oh, do this, be more, have that, chase this now. Like, people say be grateful for what you have, but they don't really mean it. It's just kind of like a phrase people say. But when you are genuinely from your soul, from your heart, whatever you want to call it, grateful for what you have, the universe does open up to you because it respects that energy much more than lower vibrational energies. Which, don't get me wrong, the lower vibrational energies need to be there for contrast, but it's not exactly like you're supposed to choose it. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.